Have you ever made plans with a woman, and then, a day before or maybe even an hour before the meeting, she sends you a message saying she totally forgot, has plans to meet her grandmother or someone, and can't make it? It seems like work called her last minute. Can we reschedule? Annoying, right? I'm sure you've been through this at least once in your life. All guys go through it, everyone goes through it, and so have I. I do it too, and I've received it. I can tell you for sure that this woman didn't just remember she had plans, she's standing you up. When a woman likes a man, there's no way she would cancel plans with him for something else. And if she does, if she has to, she'll make sure they have concrete plans in the future. So, she makes plans for later. I know this because I've done it with several men, just like all my friends. Why do women do this? Well, you'll find out in today's video. You'll also learn how to respond to this situation and, more importantly, how to identify and avoid an inconsistent woman before she wastes your time. I highly recommend that you watch this video until the end to save yourself from chasing the wrong woman and being unnecessarily rejected. That said, let's dive in. From now on, I'll be your own wing girl. Every week, I'll give you insider information without beating around the bush about what women really want versus what they say they want, along with the most effective methods to win over any woman you like. So, hit that subscribe button now to never miss a video. First of all, let's discuss why a woman would stand you up. The reason is simple and straightforward: to avoid discomfort. When a woman likes a man, there's no way she would cancel plans with him for something else. And if she does cancel, she'll make sure they have concrete plans in the future. So, when a woman stands you up, it usually means she's not that interested in the guy, at least at that moment. Things can change in the future, but at that moment, she's not very invested, or she has a lot going on, or she's simply not that attracted to him. But telling the guy she's not interested seems rude, and that would upset him. Because of that, it's an uncomfortable conversation. So, to avoid the discomfort of upsetting the guy, she chooses to make plans, accept the plans, and then stand him up. But here's something really important to note: this is not malicious behavior from women. It's childish behavior, but it's not malicious in any way. It's not planned or intended to be cruel. Women are not trying to embarrass or be mean to you. It's simply done to avoid an embarrassing situation for her. It's easier to say yes to an invitation or give a phone number than to say no. At least, that's how most women feel. Yes, it's selfish, dishonest, and childish, but the truth is there's no intention. What's more, women don't realize how harmful these actions are to another person. They don't realize the frustration, inconvenience, and pain that men experience when a woman stands them up. They don't realize it. They think they've avoided being mean and rude when, in fact, their actions are much more cruel. Now that you know why a woman stands you up, what should you do when a woman stands you up? Well, my main suggestion for you is this: don't get angry. I know it's difficult, believe me. When a woman sends you a message 15 minutes before your meeting saying she forgot, she has another obligation, it's hard to stay calm. It's hard not to be offended, and it's easy to get upset and angry. But you should accept it. She's not interested in you at that moment, which is fine. Instead of getting angry or hurt by her standing you up, feel sorry for her for not being mature enough to be honest. This will create a calm in you because you'll realize that this is the kind of woman who isn't worthy of being with you. A woman who can't speak the truth doesn't deserve your attention and isn't mature enough to deal with you. If you wish, you can express your disappointment to her in a mature and assertive way. Let her know that standing someone up is not cool. You can send her a simple message that says something like, "Okay, I totally understand. In the future, let me know earlier. My time is really valuable to me, so I hope you respect that in the future. Have fun with your grandmother, enjoy your event, whatever it is." So, that's a firm and honest message that shows you respect yourself. It's a bit softer at the end, so she knows you're still safe to interact with, and hopefully, she'll learn that her behavior wasn't cool and correct it with you or in the future. Either way, a good outcome will come out of the situation. Now, the next thing many guys ask me is this: if a girl stands me up once, should I keep pursuing her? That's a very good question, and the short answer is no. No, you really need to stop pursuing her because it will probably happen again. But if you really like the girl, here's what you can do instead: don't actively try to schedule individual meetings or dates. If you have the chance to interact with her later, whether in person or online, you can flirt with her, tease her, show your confidence and personality. But that's it, nothing more. You need to let her come to you, let her mind change organically, let her start investing in you. But don't just sit around waiting for it. It's always, and I mean always, better to move on to other women who will give you the time and attention you deserve. Don't waste your time thinking or chasing women who won't do that. It's very insulting to yourself. If she starts putting in more effort and getting involved with you, then you can reconsider asking her out again. But if not, it's better to move on and forget about her. She's not you. She's not horrible. Forget about her. Also, since we're on the topic of being stood up, I have 2 more tips for you. These will help you protect yourself from being stood up before it happens. First, notice the signs of interest so that the possible stand-up date can be avoided by being armed with the knowledge of what it looks like when a woman is interested in you. I'll admit these are not foolproof signs to look for because circumstances can play a role in many interactions. For example, getting sober. Some women will only be very available to you for a single night, meaning potential for a one-night stand but no date a week later. Another example is a personal reason. She might be in crisis with an ex, super stressed in her own life, going through a breakup, or just in the mood to flirt that night. There are many reasons why her feelings disappeared after that night. Another example is meeting someone else. Attractive and quality women can meet someone more interesting, so now they'll put their energy into that new guy. But having said that, some signs to look for that indicate interest are making eye contact, ignoring friends even if it's just a girls' night out, lightly touching you. Too much touching is a sign of extreme comfort and possible future friendship, so just be careful with that engagement in conversation. These are just a few, but if you want a more elaborate list of signs, you can check out other videos I've made on this exact topic. So, speaking of signs of interest, there's one that you should definitely pay attention to. In fact, this sign is more like a sign of disinterest and a good way to predict a possible stand-up. So, once you ask for her number, listen for the pause. The awkward pause where she debates whether to give you a real or fake number. Most women who want you to call, if they give you the number, were already expecting that question, meaning there should be no pause. A pause usually translates to potential stand-ups. So, just keep that in mind. Okay, so here's the second tip I have for you. Don't leave the house before confirming to save yourself from a trip and possible parking fees. Text her before leaving home, about an hour before the scheduled time to meet, and say something like, "I'm running about 10 minutes late. I hope that's okay." So, this text prepares her to bail if she wants to. And the truth is, if a woman is going to stand you up, she's going to. But at least with this attitude, you can save yourself money, energy, and getting dressed up for nothing. Instead, you can stay home and watch TV. Now, here's something you should always remember when it comes to being stood up. When a woman stands you up, it's a reflection of her. It shows that she doesn't have enough confidence in herself to give an honest answer and is afraid of looking bad in someone's eyes. It's not a reflection of your worth or attractiveness as a man. I've learned my lesson about this, and I sometimes do it, but I try to teach every woman I come into contact with the importance of being straightforward and honest. Again, I'll do my part to prevent this from happening, and you can do your part to prevent it from happening to you. In addition to these tips I gave you today, one of the most effective ways to avoid being stood up is to become good at creating chemistry. As I mentioned before, women only stand up men they don't feel much for. The better you are at making a woman feel something for you, the lower your chances of being stood up by someone. And there are a few phrases that can make a woman fall for you. I have a video here on the channel that you can watch to see what these phrases are. She won't be able to resist you and will start seeing you as a prize she must have, not someone to stand up. So, it's really powerful because it's rooted in female psychology and biology. And these phrases truly make attraction inevitable.